what's going on, everybody? Alex here, and I'm here today to talk to you. If you couldn't guess, the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Tom Holland's fourth standalone movie and his seventh appearance, I believe, now in the MCU. Could be more than that. We first got introduced to him way back during Civil War, which feels forever from like right now. And I don't know. I feel like Tom has really evolved over time. I feel like he went from being like he was a good Spider-Man, and he was a good Peter Parker, but nothing about him like really like jumped out to me in the first few movies. We're at the point now where I can certifiably say he's my favorite of both worlds. I think Tom Holland gives an incredible performance in this movie. I think the whole cast really did a great job. I think the director did a great job, as he continues to do with all Marvel projects that he's attached to, until they cancel Wonder Man 2 the day that his new movie comes out. Kind of crazy that they did that. But anyway, I'm here today to talk about Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I'm going to go full spoilers, so your official spoiler warning starts in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so in this movie's plot is they hid it mostly from the trailers. You don't see a lot in the trailers, but what you do see is Tom Holland, and he is coping with new abilities, as well as the fact that he doesn't have anyone in his life anymore. Aunt May died, and he had to sever all connections to anyone else in the entire world, which is really sad. And Tom Holland's performance, you feel that throughout the entire movie. You feel how lonely he is. You feel how just all he has now is Spider-Man. He's devoting every second of his life to that, and he's doing a lot of good in the world, and a lot of people and everyone loves him for it. But you can see that internally, he is really, really struggling. And this is a movie about coming together with other people, and I think that's a really touching message, especially for nowadays. Speaking of how lonely he is, I think one of the best parts of the movie is still seeing what MJ and Ned are up to nowadays. 4 years have passed since the last movie. They fully graduated college and everything. They're just kind of living together as roommates. And when Peter gets to go to that house and everything and get to see them again, like just the anguish on his face, and you can already like instantly, all three of them just have such good chemistry. You're like, these three should be best friends, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, they just can't be. And honestly, it's really sad to see. But I still think that leads to a bunch of really, really good scenes in the movie, including the final scene with Ned, where I don't know, it seems like he might remember. And I read a theory, people saying that because he's magical, we know that Ned's magic, that he maybe can remember a little bit earlier than other people. Who knows? I'm getting ahead of myself. The cinematography in this movie is incredible. Really, really great job all around. And I think a lot of that is also because they literally just like shoot comic covers straight out of the comic. I wrote them down just so I didn't get them confused. You have the Amazing Spider-Man 134 issue. That's the fight against Tarantula. Really cool shot, even though we don't really get to see any of these actual villains do anything. The Amazing Spider-Man number 221, I believe, with Ramrod when he's slamming into the door. You get Spectacular Spider-Man number 142 when he fights Tombstone. I was really shocked that Tombstone wasn't a bigger part of the movie. He's on all the red carpet and all the press and everything, so it kind of felt like from the trailer that he would be a big deal, but I guess not. And then the biggest one is definitely Spider-Man Adventures number 2, which is when he fights Scorpion. Scorpion's tail is going up and trying to hit him. Great shot. Really liked Michael Mando in this movie. If you've seen Better Call Saul, you know this dude can act. And he gives a great performance here. I hope we get to see more of him. Maybe he gets turned into a symbiote later on, like in the comics, but who knows? I don't really know where we're going for the future of these movies, to be honest. A big part of the marketing for this movie is definitely Bruce Banner and the Hulk being in the movie. And I think the scene between Peter and Bruce Banner, great. Really, really like that. I like seeing Bruce just kind of be like a professor and everything. He's just trying to he's just a guy. He's trying to teach these kids because he knows that stuff is important. All they want to do is ask Hulk questions. It's very funny. And I like that scene quite a bit. And I like that then he gets to go talk about actual science with Peter Parker. And then the Hulk fight, incredible. Oh my god, from the tag team of Peter and Frank trying to fight him, Frank just kind of chickening out because he's just a dude with some guns. He's not taking on the Hulk, but Peter having to fight the Hulk, he gets to use Shocker's glove to punch him in the face. Chef's kiss. I mean, as a comic book fan, what more can you really want, right? Speaking of Frank and the Punisher, I thought their relationship, him and Peter's, might be my favorite part of the entire movie. I really like how their dynamic plays off of each other. How Frank, he doesn't feel super toned down. I mean, at the end, he literally takes the shot at Jean Grey. I think it's the only time that he tries to shoot someone in the entire movie, because it's like, yeah, that's what Punisher would do. He would see that's the only option out, and he would take the kill shot. So I'm happy that they didn't tone that down. And then I really like the scene with him and Peter at the hospital at the very end. Really, really nice. And I'm wondering if we'll see more of this kind of character progression from Frank going forward and stuff like Daredevil or any future Punisher sequels or spin-offs that they want to do. I just mentioned Jean Grey, so let's talk about Jean Grey. The big secret. I mean, we all kind of knew that Sadie Sink was going to be in the movie, right? But they never confirmed that she was playing Jean Grey. So it was cool when they do reveal it. I think she does a great job in the movie. Character, it's a little one note of a character in this movie, I gotta say. And I also don't fully understand why she'd hesitate to kill what's his name, the DODC director, Tremel Tillman. Then they hesitate to kill him at the end. But earlier in the movie, she literally has an old guy jump in front of a moving car. That car is going fast. That guy might be squished for all we know. Like, I don't know. That didn't really make any sense to me. I still like how her powers are displayed, and it's a really powerful version of Jean Grey, even before she ever has the Phoenix. So I'm a big fan of all of that. And now I'm very interested to see how, like, this is our first official X-Men character in the MCU, which is pretty exciting. And I'm hoping that now we get to see what Professor X can do for kids like Jean Grey, trying to harness their powers and teach them not only how to use their powers for stronger purposes, but also more ethically. And I think that's a really big important part of why the X-Men are so important for these young X-Men coming up. I'd be remiss if I also didn't mention that how much I love Tom Holland's costume in the movie. My favorite on-screen spider suit by far. Looks perfect. It looks he basically just has his suit from the end of No Way Home, if not maybe a little bit less shiny, but I think it works really well. About halfway through the movie, my girlfriend asked me, "How can anyone take him seriously in that?" It's like, it's a comic book. That's why. But it's funny because like this movie really does feel like a comic book. Like if the pacing of it, how we have like almost like a fifth issue break where we could just learn about like Jean Grey, the antagonist backstory and everything. That felt very comic booky to me, and I really enjoyed all of that. Finally, I mean, we might as well talk about the post-credit scene. Something small. It's just the spider tracker going beep beep beep, and then all of a sudden he's all the way off in space now. I think there's three possibilities for what this could be. I think number one could be Miles Morales coming to the universe, which would be really awesome, like a live-action Miles Morales, and the glitch effect will kind of Spider-Verse-y. But I don't know if they're going to bring in like an animated version of him, or be like an actual, like, just a completely different Miles that we haven't even met yet, like in any iteration of the MCU. The other option could be Andrew or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man coming into the MCU again to meet up with Tom Holland, possibly for Doomsday, or definitely for Secret Wars. And Tom Holland, I just don't think has confirmed that he's in Doomsday. I mean, I'm sure he's probably in it somewhere, but I think he'll already have a pretty bigger role in Secret Wars in a couple of years. And I think the third option that it could be is Tom Holland being transported to Battle World. I've seen the movie twice now, and both times I was really trying to like clock like you can't see the tracker itself move, so it doesn't look like it's a different spider popping up. So I think that's a little less likely, but who am I to say? I really don't know. But anyway, yeah, I thought this movie is fantastic. It's definitely going to be my top 10 probably of the year. It's my new favorite like MCU Spider-Man movie for sure, and probably my second favorite live-action Spider-Man movie. I still think Spider-Man 2 might take the cake just a little bit for me, if anything, just because it's more diluted, just a Spider-Man story, and this definitely tackles quite a few things. I really enjoy the movie. I hope all you guys go out to see it. I think it's cool that we have two movies in theaters right now, both making a lot of money with John Bernthal, Zendaya, and Tom Holland. And yeah, I thought it's great. It's a great time. It's a great time. It's a great time to be a Spider-Man fan. And I've never felt happier to see a Spider-Man movie in a theater with people. So thank you. Hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like and a comment if you want. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.